Hello Stampers, this is super awesome Stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Sunbury, Wisconsin, USA. I am jumping on. I see Tanya is just finishing up, but I need to adjust my camera so you can see my screen and not have any of the camera pull or the light pull in there. So that looks good. I'm going to turn to the group and make sure my feed is coming up on my computer so that I can monitor comments as they come in. If anybody's found me, give me a shout out, add a comment, and let me know you're watching. There we go. Okay, so let me get my thoughts together here. I can see my screen. Let me put my hands there so I can see something in the screen. Got all my stamps and all that set up. It's ready to be stamping. But I am featuring the diagonal word cloud. This is my own invention. It seems like I come back to word clouds every so often. The thing I like about word clouds is, hi Brian and Amber, thank you for letting me know you can see and hear me. Word clouds, love them because they're so versatile. You just grab your stamps and get to stamping. A couple of ink pads and you've got an instant background to color coordinate with your pattern paper. So Myrna, she's coming in from Orlando, Florida. All right. Janice, hello. I think I'm going to move my computer a little bit so I can see a little easier and tip it up. There. All right. Tina, good morning. Okay, so we're going to do the word clouds. I do have kits for sale on my blog at superawesomestamper.com. Click on Kits in the Mail or the one-of-a-kind icon to find the post. It's actually the second post on my blog today. The first post I just put up this morning, it has the World Card Making Day details that Stampin' Up is hosting on October 4th. You're going to want to make sure to click that link and register for that World Card Making Day. Even if you can't watch live, even if you're not going to be purchasing the kit to craft along with them, because you're going to receive a free gift from them after the event is over if you register. All right, so good morning, Johanna. All right, so we got a couple eyeballs. I think I'm just going to get started. We do have an hour, but the hour always goes fast, and I always prep more to show you than what I can cover in an hour. All right, so your kits, I should show you. I mail them in these, they're called booklet envelopes, and what happens is I can fit 2 kits in there. Sometimes I squeeze some pattern paper in the 8x6 cut in there to make it mail a little easier, but I can fit 2 in there and that's how they come. And then I usually write on the back with the month and the design. So if you got a couple of kits stacking up, you'll know which kit to grab and craft along with me. So I tuck everything in our clear envelopes. So I untucked one, and this is actually my sample kit. I leave a kit out and in a drawer when I make kits so that everybody gets the same thing and I don't miss pieces when I assembly line them. So this is what your kit would look like. There's more pieces than what I featured in the promo video or in the photos. Good morning, Mickey. Because when I make the promo video, I usually make a kit and see what the weight is and how thick it is. But when I start making kits, I realize I can add a few more pieces in. So you got double ribbons, double embellishments, which I didn't use on either one, but I always like to include coordinating colored strips so that you've got a little sample there, because frequently you are just making a card or 2, whereas demonstrators are maybe making several kits and we need a lot of strips to cut up. You just might need a strip. So that's why I like to include those strips and then a little bit of ribbon in your kit. Good morning, Kay. Okay, so we are going to, if you're crafting along with me, which one do we want to do? I think I had the blue one first. The blue one's set up. So grab your blue kit and grab, where's the sample card? What did I do with it? Oh, it's underneath. Okay, and this ink set is for the next one. So here's my sample card. Here's your kit. Like I said, I didn't use the embellishments. You can set those aside, add them to your card after we're done. Right now I'm just going to set those aside. This, I'm going to go through products as I go through and undo your kit. The Opal Rounds assortment is current, and I chose it because it had the yellowish tone, a clear holographic, and the blue tone. So if you wanted to use them on your card, you certainly could. Those are current. Those are in the catalog. This strip is from a retired set. It's from last fall, I think. The pecan pie and clear ribbon adhesive back dots. That's where that came from. And I generally keep all my embellishments and I reuse them in my kit. I shouldn't say reuse them. I use them in my kits, especially the tan ones. I tend to gravitate toward the crumb cake tan ones. All right, what else is in your kit? You're only going to use one piece of ribbon. And then I included 2 of the jars. Now, Stampin' Up! Does not allow us to include stamped images. So you would have need to have made a purchase of the Jar of Joy and the Sweet Jar stamp set if you wanted the exact images and sentiments that I used. Or you just use whatever you have on hand. We have had jar stamps in the past, and I'm sure you've got stamps in your stash that you can use. Anyway, I put 2 punch shapes in, 2 jars, 2 lids. In case you don't have the stamp set, you can use it. And actually, my thought was, I think I gave you double of everything except for like the card bases. So if you wanted to make another card out of the supplies, you actually could. You just have to add your own card base. I only gave you 1 hot cocoa though. That was a little oversight on my part, but I think at that point I wasn't thinking that far ahead. I wanted to get you double the embellishments. All right, so if you don't have the coordinating stamp set to stamp the detail on the jar, you're going to grab your Stampin' Right marker. Now, within the last month, Stampin' Up! Decided to discontinue the Stampin' Right markers. I'm not sure if they're not still on the last chance list, but if you need to refresh your markers, now is the best time to do it because they haven't said that they're bringing this product back. We've had these forever, since day one, since I've been stamping with Stampin' Up! So, I think maybe if they find a new supplier, they may item back if there's enough of a customer outcry. But for now, the Stampin' Right markers actually, what happens is the fine tip dries out, the writing tip. But the fat tip, as long as you don't mash it down and don't use it, for a lot of projects, that stays good for quite a while. So anyway, if you have a marker, what you're going to do is, let's see here. Can I put this against white so we can kind of see it a little better? You're going to take and make all of the detail work, and you're going to do a better job than I can because I'm doing it up in the air. But you're going to follow it all around and see, as I get over here, there's less and less ink, and that's just because that's the fine tip. If you use the fat tip, let's try the fat tip. Fat tip would work as well and give you more of a wider line. So Stampin' Up! Also provides a lot of details. So if you notice, they've broken the line there and there. They've added some shadowing down here and shadowing all around here. So that's what you're going to want to do to add a little detail. But since I have the stamp set, I'm going to show you exactly how, and the punch, I'm going to show you how it works. So let me grab my punch. All the people that are bought kits for me are working on their jar detail. I've got the crumb cake ink pad here. And what I am going to do is actually show you how to stamp and punch if you actually already also bought the punch. I'm looking for my paper piercing mat here. Okay. So again, this is just a side demo showing you how to use the stamp and the punch together. you don't have the scrap in your kit. So the punch is orientated this way. Let's ink it up. And I can tell you that, or I can show again real quick. Jar of Joy stamp set and Sweet Jar both have a jar stamp and a jar lid. The jars are a little bit different in detail. This one's a fuller lid, this one's an open lid. Okay, so we stamp that. And then we're gonna punch it. So stamp first, punch second. This is a good time to use up your strips. And now, this isn't probably not gonna work for me because we're trying to do it on screen. Kind of move it around. That upper right hand corner is making it not an easy thing to push in here. Let me take that out again. That's bent a little bit. Let's just get that out of there. And if this doesn't work, we're going to do the Post-it note trick. Do you know the Post-it note trick? It looks like I'm going to be showing you the Post-it note trick, so hang on a second. Post-it note trick is if you've got a small piece of scrap you're trying to use up, you need a little handle to just put that in there so you attach it to a Post-it note. And position it and press down. So that's how the Post-it note trick works. Post-it note doesn't get punched because it's on the edge of that scrap piece. So there's that. And then I need the lid. The lid one is right here. And I've got a couple of scraps here. Got these thinner scraps. I need 2 of these, so I think I'm just going to do 2 right away. So lid. And I wonder if I should do the other lid so you can see what that looks like. Going a little bit off script here, but that's okay. Like I said, we have an hour. Hour always goes fast. Here's the lid from the Sweet Jar. I'm gonna punch it over here, stamp it over here. There, so 2 different lid stamps. One's in Sweet Jar and one's in Jar of Joy. Okay. Where you can see it. And this one I did not stamp quite right. I could flip it around, or if you take your Stampin' Right marker, the fine tip is, so another use besides writing is filling in those spots where maybe you didn't get a good stamp impression because you're demoing on demoing over your desk, looking at your phone and your computer. There. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to do another jar. Can I fit another jar here? I can. We're going to do that. I could get the other jar image out, but we're just going to stick with this right now. Okay, moving that out of the way. Let's see if this one goes a little easier. If I have problems, I'm going to switch the Post-it note right away. There we go. Okay, so the jar punch and the Sweet Jar is sold as a bundle, and these are online exclusives, and the Jar of Joy is sold as individually as a stamp set. Okay, so there's that and that. Let me get rid of some of the scraps here and bring back, don't need the Post-it notes anymore, a don't need that. That's when I stamped. When I stamped, let's just set this one aside into the other kit. Ooh, I better make sure I don't hit my mouse pad there. Okay, so that's that. Now next, the exciting part, the word cloud part. I gave you a piece of rectangular shaped cardstock. You're gonna have to cut that in half. And we are going to cut from the upper right to the bottom left. Marna said it's a cute set. Yeah, I'm a sucker for jar things. I'm a canner. So I like those types of images. Okay, upper right to bottom left. That's the scoring one. Just move that out of the way. Just putting those tips of the corners into the cutting track, cutting it into 2 pieces. So here's where you can make a second card right away, a second word cloud, because I gave you 2 pieces of ribbon, 2 jars. Did not give you 2 hot cocos, so you might have to just write the word hot cocoa on some scrap, or just look in your stash and see if you've got some appropriate sentiments. Okay, so we're just going to stamp one though. You can see where I've given you enough to make 2. Now, what I am going to do is, it's easiest if you turn it at an angle, and if you have a sample in front of you, turn it at an angle so you see where you're going. And I need my blue, I need Night of Navy. We're going to use the Gorgeous Grape on the scarf. I need Night of Navy, and I need the crumb cake. Okay, and then I try to keep all of the stamps in the correct place. Oop, this way. A little treat for you is blue. Sweetness is the crumb cake. That's the scarf. Blue is the snowman. I think I'll do that right away. Sending a little your way is blue. The little dots are supposed to be snowflakes. Those are blue. So sweetness is the only one that gets crumb cake. Before I proceed to that, let's get the snowman on there. So tap, 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 straight up and down, no rocking, firm and committed pressure. And then I try to get it centered. Oh, did pretty good. So you can see where the scarf is needed. So let's maybe do the scarf. Let's do the easy stuff. Get the easy stuff out of the way. Now the scarf stamp, I had a look at it. I actually had to stamp it. I didn't know exactly what was going on. But the scarf hangs down and to the right. Then it goes across the neck, and then the top piece is for the hat. So if you do a higher resolution of contrasting colors, you might see this a little easier. And hopefully I get this lined up. So what I was doing was I was looking through my block, I was looking at the hat band and making sure the hat band stamp covered up the space on the crumb cake, and so I knew it was perfectly centered. All right, so there's that. So I'm done with Gorgeous Grape. And set that aside. Right, now for the interesting part, let me grab, because I don't want to get ink on my paper piercing mat. And see, this is probably, yep, this is a sheet I, excuse me, this is a sheet I used when I was making samples. Okay. All right, a little treat for you was my starting point. A little treat for you in the blue. And you're going to stamp a little bit down into the paper because the ribbon is going to overhang the paper, the DSP and the crumb cake paper. And then Sweetness is next. And then I just kind of went around that a little treat for you. I didn't stamp where the jar was, but I need some overhang right there. And then the next thing I picked was the sending a little. Now these are really small. If you need to stamp off to know which way your stamp is going. There. And then sending a little sweetness. Sending a little sweetness is going to fill in the space. And then I did a little treat for you down here. I think I'm going to do tan, tan, tan. I'm going to do a different pattern here. Here. Oh, I didn't go quite straight. I'm going to see if I can do tan. I'm going to do more of a power of 3/5. So 1, 2, 3 crumb cake, 1, 2, 3 crumb cake, 1, 2, 3 crumb cake. The rest we're going to fill in with the blue. So let's do a sending a little right here. Ooh. Right there. There. Maybe put a little treat over here. All right, excuse me, I had to get a little bit of water. And then the last is going to be all of the, hi Kim and Cindy. Cindy, good morning from Ohio. Thank you, Kim. So the word cloud is just filling in. Oh, I see I stamped where the jar is going to be. That's all right. Just fill it in. There. So that's done. Now another little detail. Direct to paper technique. I love shabby chic. I actually did direct to paper. If you can see, I got it on the ribbon. So I did it after I had attached the triangle to the DSP. So let's get that done next. Wait a minute. Let's get the stamping done. So all I did in the inside was snowflakes / dots in the upper corner. Okay, now I can get rid of the blue because I don't use the blue Night of Navy in the other card. Cover that up. Okay, get the blue out of the way and get this one out of the way. What happens is if I'm on the corner of my work table here, because that's where my photo or my camera stand is. So off to the side is my trash can, but I put a box there so I've got a little more extra workspace, and I have my window ledge next to me, so all of the stamps and ink pads go up there so they don't actually get dumped onto something that I don't want ink on. Oh, I need the blue back, but because we're going to direct to paper. I got so excited about getting stuff off my work table. Okay, so this is the extra. Again, the 2 jars. I punched my own. All right, so in your kit, you would have gotten 2 of these pieces of designer series paper. Great Halloween. Right there, great Halloween pattern. But I chose the blue to coordinate with the snow. We're just going to use 1 on the outside and then a strip on the inside. So with your extra pieces, like I said, you can make a second card. Okay? Now this rectangular piece was one that was the top piece after I cut the 4-inch strip off. Where's my paper trimmer? Did I put it underneath my box? It's like totally gone. Did it fall over? Oh, there it is. So you're going to cut that in half, or you can leave it whole and use the whole thing on the top. But it's about 1.5 inches, I think. So 3/4 of an inch, and then you have enough for both pieces of both cards if you choose to make a second card with your supplies. All right, we're just gonna put that there. So that would go on your second card if you're making a second card. Okay, so Ta-da! Get the hot there, cocoa there. We're going to find my tape runner and attach your triangle. Now, if you purchased, I didn't get my kit, I'm pretty sure I ordered it. Ooh, Valerie, we will check on that when we are done with my video. Gosh, I can't think off the top of my head. I mailed kits mid last week, so they should have arrived to you in time. But yeah, I will check Valerie and check my notes and see what actually, if we didn't mail a kit to you, if you paid for it, we'll check on that after we're done here. All right, so this ribbon is retired ribbon. It was from that online coffee suite. It was last summer. It's pretty thick. It's like, it's not, it reminds me of baling twine. If you're a farmer, you know. It's not as coarse as baling twine, of course, but that's what it reminds me of. It's pretty thick. So I would use a super strong adhesive, is my point, because it will bounce up. And it should fit pretty close. I could cut a little bit off there, but I'm going to create a lot of fuzz. But there you go. There's that. And then find your hot cocoa. And we're going to add that on there. Hot and cocoa. You're going to use your Tombow glue for that. And Tombow glue that doesn't have a lot in it works the best on these fine die cuts because you just gently squeeze the bottle. Sometimes you don't even have to squeeze it all. And glue will come out. See, there's a little bit coming out there. I don't even have to squeeze it. There's actually more there than I want. Yeeks, got stuck there. Okay, hot cocoa. I kind of overlapped them. Why don't we put one over here? Oops, yeah, you can see there's too much glue there. Let me grab a Kleenex. I should have gotten the glue on my white piece here. Oh, getting a little crazy there. Okay. All right. What else do we have to add on the front? Our jar. So we're going to attach that with some dimensionals. And your thin dimensionals on the edge work great for that. And let's just do because they're straight on one side. There. Okay. Another thought with ordering, WordPress changed how PayPal buttons are displayed. So just be aware of that. It's nothing that I changed. It's PayPal's changed how they're displayed and actually added. So just be aware of that when you come to my blog to order the kits. They might look a little, the button might look a little different, but should act the same on your end. Ooh, oh crap, I've got some glue coming out of there. I didn't notice that. Well, let's use that up and tack this stuff down. Let's put it on the inside of the card. Let's attach the inside. Where's my card base? Here it is. Okay, we're at 10:45. I spent half an hour on this card. My goodness, I'm just taking my own sweet time. Let's giddy on up here. Got other things to share with you, so Okay, and let's spread this back here. I do have kits for sale on my blog yet, so you can go to my blog and order kits. That supports my business. It helps me stay presenting here in the one-of-a-kind group, and helps with all of the other bills that I have associated with providing kits. Plus, with the kit purchase, you get at least one PDF. So you're actually going to get a couple of PDFs. I emailed you a PDF with a thank you email, and then I have a smaller PDF that just has these there are actually 3 designs in that PDF, and then coming in December you're going to get a PDF with all of the measurements plus 18 other designs in that PDF. And that's just because I just designed this diagonal work cloud. It's my own creation. And my Simple Specialty Samples group, I was able to slip it in December. I know in my video I said I think you wouldn't get it till next year, but we were able to move some stuff around, so I'll be able to get you that idea file sooner than I thought. Okay, so there's that. Now, I think that's it. What did I do here? Oh, I just added the ink, the direct to ink. Let's add some glue to the back side. Now, try not to dump it in my ink pads there. Sample card I just made with you. All right, you've got double the DSP, so you can go ahead and make another jar, everything but the hot cocoa. Sorry about that. That was an oversight on my part. Yeah. The other option, if you don't want to make a second card, is that second piece of DSP can go on the inside of your card. That's what I originally thought would happen, but yeah. Okay. All right. So there's that one. Let me close up this little, so I don't have glue going everywhere. Let's get the second one going. Let's see here. While I am swapping stuff out, let me tell you about some things that Stampin' Up is having coming up. October 1st is a new demonstration promotion. So if you enjoy products shipped directly to you, looking for color coordinating products, and your stamp budget is smaller than your wish list, then you might consider joining my super awesome Stampers team with that October 1st joining special. Now, they haven't told us any of the details for the joining special. They're going to tell us on next week, on the 23rd. So I'll post those details to my blog. But I welcome anybody who wants to join my super awesome Stampers team. You don't have to be local to me. You can be across the United States. I've even had people join from Hawaii. So, yeah, so consider that and be watching my blog for details on that. I'm looking for my sample card here. Here we go. So I need this one, so crumb cake, early espresso is going to be over here. I don't think I need my scissors there. Early espresso is just going to be the gingerbread. Okay, so I'm going to pull in this. Now again, if you got the kit, it doesn't have any stamped images on it. Hopefully you have the coordinating stamp though. So early espresso into the gingerbread. Okay, gingerbread. I did do some distressing, so I won't put the gingerbread too far away, but we're done with the gingerbread stamp. And then I am just going to grab one of my, here's your kit. Let me get the kit over here. Here's the kit that you would have received. So you're going to cut this in half, or grab the half that you didn't use and flip it over for that side. So that's just what I'm going to do, is grab that half. I'm going to turn this on the side, open up my garden green, and the Jar of Joy's got 2 fun long verses, so we're using both of them on card. Ooh, everything is falling over here on my ledge, including my photos. Okay, so both of the sentiments are green. got some hearts that are green. No, both of the sentiments are not green. The cursive one is crumb cake. The full of cheer is the green. Hearts are green. I know green is an unusual color for hearts, but hey, it's a Christmas card. We can make our cards whatever color we want. All right, so we started with the green again. Start with the top one again, put it down a little bit so this ribbon actually isn't going to overhang that much. So I want the cheer to end up on the upper right hand corner. And then we're just going to continue that line. The next one is, I've got filled with. Let's see, let's just move it over a little bit so you can get a little different look. And then the hearts, when I made my sample, I did two different stamps, or two different stamp blocks, but I put them together in one block, so we'll see how we like that. Oh, I already got, oh, look at that blue. I got ink there, but that's okay. Let's try to make sure I cover that up with the heart. I can see why I used two because there's this space there, but you know what? I'm just going to leave it. Okay. Then another green verse. So again, this is a word cloud. Word clouds are just a lot of little verses or words in the same theme, different font sizes, different fonts, different colors, could be the same monochromatic, can be whatever you want it to be. But if we have all the stamps, we might as well use them, right? They're not doing us any good sitting on our shelves, not being used in cards. And then I'm trim that a little bit that way. Okay, now the inside of the card, I said, sending a jar full of cheer. So I just did the green on the inside. I think maybe the longer one didn't fit, but maybe I wanted to pull the green in. Pull the green in with the pattern paper. And then why don't we do, gotta do 3, power of 3. Got a little more there, but that's all right. How about down here? Let's fill this corner in. Okay, so I think I'm done with stamping. And okay, what else can I describe? I've got a whole list of things to go through here with you. So World Card Making Day, I think I already mentioned that, is October 4th. Stampin' Up is hosting an event, a 1-hour event, 2 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure you sign up through the link on my blog at superawesomestamper.com. And Stampin' Up will email or share some kind of a gift. I don't know what it is. They haven't told us what it is. So yes, register. Even if you can't attend live, they will send you the link to the recording after the event is over. And there is a kit that they are going to be demonstrating live. It is called, let me look at my notes here, Handmade and Heartfelt. I've got an image and a ordering link in my blog for that. So again, your kit has 2 of them. You decide which one you want to use. Let's use, I think I included one more red and one not as red, so let's use this one so you can get 2 different looks here. Use my bone folder, boing that down. Okay, where is my tape runner? So even if you don't purchase the kit for World Card Making Day, and you can still tune in. I'm sure they'll have a lot of tips and tricks to share with you. I don't know who's presenting the kit. Somebody from the home office. And then this ribbon is retired as well. I attached it with some glue dots. I think I just did one. I did one kind of where the jar was going to be because it's an open ribbon. It's not a really good way to attach this down. You attach it and cover it up with something over it. How do you color dimensionals to help you peel the cover up? I don't color the dimensionals to help me peel the top off. I color them so that they're not white on my workstation. Because when you leave them just white, they blend in with everything else on my workstation. Because I use these mats. I actually use a old monthly calendar on my design table, which is white. But if you color dimensionals, and you just color them with your blends, your alcohol markers. Where are my dimensionals? See, I lost them even though they're pink. She mentioned they're colored pink. Where did they go? I don't know where they went. Yeah, so that's why I color them. It doesn't help peel them off. It helps you find them, locate them on your stamp table. Okay, and then I did some distressing. Again, distressed with the early espresso. So let me find that ink pad. Over here. Lift it out. Again, and you can do as much distressing or as little as you want. Don't have to do it. Just adds an antique look. If you like shabby chic, that's for you. Did I do it? I didn't do it on the inside, but let's just do it. It adds another layer without adding weight to your envelope as well. Okay, World Card Making Day. All right, I'm gotta go through other things when I'm finishing assembling my card. Last chance list. So Stampin' Up changed how they're telling us about retired products, soon to be retired products. Clearance rack, it all got melded into the last chance list, which is on my online store. Everybody's Stampin' Up. If your demonstrator has an online store, she has the last chance category in our online store. That's where they're throwing that stuff. They're updating that list every other month, so October and December will be the next update. And supplies that are on the last chance list are while they last. They aren't restocking those. And once they are out, they will just remove them. So no more retired list to follow. I'm not going to pull out my, do I dare? Yep. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to rip it. So I'm not going to pull out my cutter. We're just going to rip it. And put that at the top. Do I like that? I don't like the white. I don't like the white core. Guess what? I could pull this one in. That doesn't solve it for the piece that I cut. Oh, I could cut that off. Let's try this. Yeah, so last chance list. Stuff's only there while supplies last. No more clearance rack. Yeah, that's all right. Let me get some more of this white covered up. Okay. And if you have any questions while I'm rolling through here, let me know. I'll try to catch them while we're live here. Oh, okay, craft paper, crumb cake, yes. I still call it craft. The neutral paper, I love it. I love it using it for coordinating against really bold colors too, like Blackberry Bliss and red. Okay, so last thing is to add our glue, or our jar with those dimensionals that are colored pink. I have no idea where. Everything gets piled up, like I said, on the right. I don't know where they went. That's so interesting. Oh, are they underneath here? Or are they underneath here? Nope. Hang on a second. You know what I'm going to have to go do? This is how they come from Stampin' Up. They're white. And the whole sheet can be used. I don't know what I did with the red one. Is that the right jar? Okay, so what's left in your kit is, you would have used one jar and one lid, but our hearts, I did double hearts too. Hearts, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the embellishments I didn't use. These were from the coffee suite last summer. These are the current ones. Let me get this out of the way. Current ones, so the coffee suite ones. Adhesive X roll dots, they were called. They might be on the last chance list. Neutral matte dots we still have, and I'm pretty sure those are in the catalog. Okay, so yes, so the paper is Need for Tweed. It's online exclusive. Let's just talk about online exclusives for a bit. Online exclusives, they are loading every other month, September and November. So last chance, that's on every month they're doing something. It's either last chance or online exclusives is what they're announcing. So September, we just had a current announcement of last chance, current on sale, I guess you would call it. And I got 3 of them. We're going to show you. And I think we are going to, see, now I can't see this, but I think we are going to use all 3 of those online exclusives I just purchased in the next 3 kits in the mail. And I think before I've done this where I've actually plotted out the 3 months and I've done a 3-month special, I think I will do that again. It's rolling around in my head. I'll work on that next week and post it to my blog when I've got all those details worked out. I may not have all the kits, but I will have the supplies that I'm going to use. Okay, and then these are just going to be tucked underneath with glue dots. And, okay, so that's kits in the mail. Your kits in the mail, people who have ordered. I mentioned you already got a thank you email with, actually you got 2 emails, or maybe just 1, depending on when you ordered. First email had a bonus PDF with this design in it. So this was the original one that I had done. And it had a few other projects in it from the Global SU Share Fair. And then when I emailed with the YouTube link, I also included another PDF, or the PDF that had the 3 samples. And then I think just because I will be sharing another PDF. So if you purchase the kits in the mail this month, if you made an online purchase, I have yet to do the thank yous for that. So you'll be getting, I think it's called the Diagonal, well, I know it's called the Diagonal Split from the Simple Specialty Samples program. So Stampin' Write markers are not alcohol markers. The alcohol markers are the blends. Stampin' Write markers are water-based. Is that right? Yeah. And the blends are the alcohol-based. So do 2 different markers. You do 2 different looks. The markers have more of a darker hues, saturated look. And the blends, of course, you can blend them to make shading. Okay, so sample card, one I just created for you. Here's the one the original one, again, so you can decide which corner you want up. This one I did some knots, so I tied the knots and put a little apple there. And this one used the More Than Autumn. So another online exclusive they introduced last year, and I love this one. I love gingerbread, apples, pumpkins, donuts, cinnamon sticks, everything. So yeah, that's where this one came from. That's the inside of that one, the little fall leaf. Okay, so there's that and that. So I have got some products I want to share with you. I got to look at my list again. I got a few minutes here. See where I'm at in my list. Let's see. New team members receive all these PDFs. So I am telling you about some PDFs that I share. So one is simple specialty samples. Oh, got to say that fast a few times. And it features 1 design a month. So this month is that Diagonal Split, and I think we're gonna save that one and be surprised. So if you purchase the kits in the mail for my Diagonal word cloud, or if you place an order this month, you're gonna receive that in the mail. Oh, actually, I have it right here. So the Diagonal Split PDF that you're gonna receive as a bonus is this. So it's a Diagonal Split, and in that PDF there are 19 samples. So this is my sample that I included for that PDF. But you can see how much I love this, the More Than Autumn stamp set. So that's just inks, paper, and these fun new embellishments. So here are the embellishments that I use. They have a kind of a holographic look to it, and they are shiny. The 2025 to 2027 in color flat pearls, perfect for mailing. They don't stick up that much. But yeah, that's my, oh, I didn't do the inside yet. I usually don't do the inside until I share that card. All right, so there is that. Next, I do want to share that this is the Need for Tweed. So this is the pattern paper pack that I used for my word cloud kits in the mail. You can see it has 4 patterns, double-sided patterns. There's 3 sheets of each. I don't know if you can see that. So if I flip it over, you can see that's the red side, and so that is the side that I used on this card. It's kind of warm tones. This pattern, again, 3 sheets of 2 double-sided patterns. Here's the pattern I used for the word cloud. You can see it's got sweater patterns, Need for Tweed it's called. This is the 3rd pattern. I debated using this for the word cloud, but I liked the previous one because it had 2 tones, 2 colors in it. So there's that and that. And then here's the other pattern that I use. Again, good for Halloween or good for snow, because the opposite side is the dark blue. So Need for Tweed. 3 sheets of 4 different patterns for 12 sheets total. And that's an online exclusive. And they are introducing, oh, I think something went behind my desk. Oh, I think it was a marker for my scoreboard, which I have at the top of my paper tower. Okay, so here's another online exclusive, Elegant Pine Snowflakes. Again, stuff that was just introduced in September. Let's pull it out and see what it is. Ooh, I think, does it look like? Oh, no, there are 2 different sheets. Okay, 2 different patterns. They're pretty close. Here's a big one. This is great for scrapbooking. If you want that to be the center and do a round photo. I love that. That's the opposite side of this. Is similar tones, smaller foliage. And there's the opposite side for that. This one, opposite side for that. Darker tones, black background. Ooh, green snowflakes, definitely different this year. Pine cones and snowflakes, green. And then that. So this is the Elegant Pine Snowflakes pattern paper. Online exclusive again. Okay, and then, oh, look at this. This is, so if you made a purchase, if you make online purchases through my online store for a new product, you get a PDF that's called Inspiring Pretty Paper Projects. Pretty sure this was my September submission. So again, look at all those fabulous colors. Pumpkin spice, apple cider season. And this paper is from, this paper is from this online pack, online exclusive, Woven Textures. They introduced this sometime this year, I'm pretty sure. But if you like those tans, like me, and textures, that's where that one came from. And again, I use the same embellishments, those 2025, 2027 flat pearls. Okay, guess what I got in my mail yesterday? Mini catalog. So they are getting catalogs to us a little differently. You have to place a demonstrator order in order to receive your catalog. So I just got my catalogs yesterday. Look at this. The next thing I wanted to show you is this pattern paper. Now there's Traditions of Christmas Specialty Designer Series paper right here, which 165853, that's what I'm going to show you, but it's also on a second page, kind of, sort of. It's also listed on page 45, but it has an additional sticker sheet. Okay, so if you want that sticker sheet, you got to order a different product number for that. And I'm just going to share with this Traditions of Christmas. It has got gold foil, and poinsettias. Oh, a nice blue on the other side. Oh, it's always hard to decide what side you're going to use. I love card designs that use both patterns. So there's one side. Let's do it this way here. With that, poinsettias. With blush pink. Oh, navy card. Pink poinsettias. With the red. This one's gorgeous. Look at all those reddish, pinkish tones. Okay, and it is a little more expensive. It's $16.50 because you need to pay for all that gold foil. And then there's that. So red plaid on the other side. And that is the Traditions of Christmas Designer Series paper. Okay, let me look at my list here. What else have I got? Oh, so since I just got my order yesterday, I haven't had time to play, but I did mention earlier in my presentation that I think my next 3 kits in the mail will feature these online exclusive products. So, let me look at my notes here. The October is going to be Pet Love. Okay, so I look at these products and think, what can I include in kits? Because we're not allowed to include the stamped images. I need to include die cuts and punches. So I can certainly make a nice kit for pet lovers using those dies. So that'll be October. November is going to be Snowflake Kisses. So this has got actually, and these are all online exclusives. This has got this and this. November is going to feature that. And again, I think this is my plan. And December is going to feature this. So these are open images, but you can still tell what they are without the stamp pieces. But yeah, I'll have details on my blog up next week for that. And again, it might be a 3-month pricing, or you can purchase each of the months individually. So I've done 3-month pricing before, which helps to save you a few dollars. It helps me plan the supplies I need to purchase and prep. So yeah, be looking at my blog for that next week. All right. Oh, got 3 minutes here. What else can I show you? Let me pull these back in so you can oogle over them. Decide if you want to purchase them or not. And then you can do the kits with me. But those are the stamp sets. Oh, here we go. Cling stamp set. They have announced we are going to only photopolymer stamps. So these clear stamps. And I'm pretty sure they're also changing the packaging. I have no idea what the new packaging is going to look like. But we are no longer offering these red rubber stamps. I think that whatever stamps are currently being sold in red rubber will continue, but any new ones will be the photopolymer. And let's see here. Oh, another thing your demonstrator may or may not have told you, because it's a big, huge shock and a big shakeup, is we are no longer having the celebration promotion, which has been around since day one, since I've been in stamping and Stampin' Up. Instead, they are going to be featuring a monthly bundle. So if you have a qualifying purchase, which they have said is $75 excluding shipping or tax, you'll be able to purchase the monthly product, whatever it is, for $5. So that's what's replacing Celebration. And that's starting in December. And let's see here. I think that's about it. Upwards and onwards with all the changes. Try to keep you informed. I have recently redone my email list, so I asked everybody to reply back and let me know if you wanted to stay on it. So if you want to be on my list or stay on my list, let me know that. Send me an email. Again, kits in the mail available at my blog, superawesomestamper.com. I welcome you to be a demonstrator on my team. Again, there's a special promotion October 1st. They haven't told us the details, but they will be sharing those next week. So I'll share those on my blog and with my email list. I think that's it. Any last minute questions? Whew, I got through my list here. All right. You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. And be watching again my blog for kits in the mail for the next few months and all of the exciting new promotions and changes that Stampin' Up! Has introduced to us. All right, have a great day. We'll stamp with you soon. Bye.